Sam Heughan is a pretty complex guy. He's a dedicated philanthropist, he always looks sharp, and he's a true ambassador for Scotland. He was an accomplished theater actor before making the transition to TV and the movie screens. And even though he's loved by millions of TV show fans, a lot of them are probably unaware of the many qualities that make Sam the ideal actor. So, in this video, we're going to highlight some of the weird things that you didn't know about Sam Heughan. First, he's a natural blonde. Despite playing the red-headed kilted warrior Jamie Fraser in the series Outlander, Sam Heughan is actually a natural blonde. During an interview with Elle magazine, he admitted to getting his hair dyed ginger every few weeks for the show. Sam said, "A lot of my family are redheads, but I'm a dark blonde. So just for the show, it gets dyed on a monthly basis. Red hair is one of Jamie Fraser's most distinguishing characteristics. I'm a natural blonde. It gets dyed, and it's pretty horrific. I have to get it dyed a crazy amount. It's like every 3 weeks," he told EW in 2017. Thankfully, the production team has now opted to give Jamie a wig, which has saved Sam's life. Seriously. Next, he was Hugh Tennant. Most Scots will remember Tennant's entertaining advert campaign starting as the chap who came up with the idea to brew the lager. However, only a few of you are going to know that it was a young Sam Heughan who played Hugh Tennant as the larger giant celebrated 125 years as Scotland's favorite pint. Sam can be seen with a curly mustache and a quirky dress sense that he acts out the historical skit. Sam is a self-confessed geek who's a big fan of Star Trek, so much so that he was actually a long-running Twitter bromance with Captain Kirk star William Shatner. The pair constantly tweet about each other, and Sam is even in the Canadian actor's Twitter profile and his cover pictures. Speaking about their relationship at the launch of his novel Zero G, Shatner said, "I liked the show and then heard about this tall, handsome guy whom everyone was talking about as the next 007, and I got to tweeting about him a little, and he picked up on it finally because I think he's seen some of my work. I met him and took him to lunch. He was great. He brought his girlfriend along, we lunched, we laughed, I ran a charity here in Hollywood, charity horse show, and he sent me some stuff to auction, including a sweatshirt with his sweat on it. His pheromones floating over the airways meant we got to get $50,000 for charity. So it's been a wonderful long-distance relationship that Sam and I have had." Moving on, he played Andy Murray in River City. Before he shot to fame, Sam was known as Andy Murray on the Scottish soap River City. No, not that Andy Murray. The star played hunky Livingston FC footballer Andrew in the BBC soap in 2005. Speaking of his time on the show, Sam said, "River City has its own fan base, and I had a great time on it. It was a learning curve for me. I remember walking down the street, and this guy hung his head out of his car and shouted, 'Nah.' At least in Scotland, they tell it like it is. I'm prepared for people at home to let me know exactly what they think of the show." Up next, he played Batman. Yeah, no, you read that right. The handsome Sam Heughan once played Batman, the famous Caped Crusader. He played Batman in the stage production Batman Live. He was a touring show that took place between 2011 and 2012. Sam followed in the footsteps of a lot of big names like Christian Bale and Michael Keaton by playing the Caped Crusader Batman on stage. The actor played the legendary comic book hero in the spectacular Batman Live show in 2011. The action-packed arena production took place at Glasgow's SECC for 5 days. During the run of the shows, Sam revealed the superhero's famous batsuit had him blushing, as it left nothing to the imagination. He joked, "Downstairs is all my own work, though none of that's false. Feels like a suit of armor and there's a weight to it. You couldn't get closer to the real thing. The team's done a brilliant job." Next up, he auditioned for Game of Thrones. And not only that, 7 times. It's difficult to fathom how they could say no, but Sam heard it 7 times from the casting directors of HBO's juggernaut Game of Thrones. Though he's currently one of the most buzzed about actors on TV, Sam admitted that it was a struggle to get where he is, and he even confessed to auditioning for Game of Thrones 7 times. In an interview with Vulture, Heughan revealed that he was determined to get on the HBO hit series, coming very close several times to landing some pretty big roles, including Renly Baratheon, which eventually went to Gethin Anthony. He said, "I auditioned for Game of Thrones 7 times. Loads of times. Auditioned for Renly, Laura, some of the members of the Night's Watch, and I'd always get so close. I'd be like, 'Guys, just give me a sword.'" Everyone was going in for those parts. Did you know that he was named after a Lord of the Rings character? During a radio appearance, the actor confirmed that his parents named him after Samwise Gamgee, his brother, Círdan, who is also named after the Telerian elf from the franchise. He told Rove and Sam, "My brother was named after one of the elves, and they called me Samwise, but it's just Sam on my birth certificate." Funny fact, he likes to go commando while he's filming. While getting Jamie Fraser's hair has been pretty difficult over the years, Sam has actually enjoyed wearing the fierce Highlanders warriors many costumes, including the kilt. Sam, along with his fellow Outlander actors, wears the kilts the way that they're supposed to be worn, with absolutely nothing underneath. He told Entertainment Weekly, "I'm a true Scotsman, and it's one of the joys of working on the show. It's wearing a kilt. It can actually be very comfortable." Whether he's creating his own whiskey, wearing a kilt, or hiking in Scottish outdoors, Sam is a proud ambassador for his country. "I was extremely lucky to grow up in such a lovely country, and then get to go back there and shoot Outlander. It's been an absolute dream come true," he told recently in Men's Journal. To see his love for Scotland, check out his Instagram account, where he often shares videos and photos of his native country. Did you know he was once nominated as a Villain of the Year at the British Soap Awards? Outlander fans know Sam for playing honorable and true Jamie Fraser, but at one time, Sam was known to Doctors, a BBC series fans, as a pretty duplicitous villain. In fact, he played his character, Scott Nielsen, so convincingly that he was nominated for a Villain of the Year award at the British Soap Awards in 2010. He lost, but he'll always have that amazing recognition on his acting resume. Next up, he's a global brand ambassador for Barbour. Since becoming Barbour's first global brand ambassador in 2016, Sam has made several capsule collections, including the collection for summer in 2019. Barbour is a brand that I've grown up with and associated with since I was living near the borders of Scotland. I was brought up in a very rural area on the grounds of a castle. It was a working farm, and I even remember the local shepherd wearing his Barbour jacket. He told Town and Country in 2016. He also has his own brand of whiskey, a true Scotsman. Sam is a huge whiskey fan, so much so that they launched his own whiskey, the Sassenach, in December 2019. When I went back to Scotland to start shooting Outlander, I rediscovered the land where I came from. I'd been living in London for 12 years, and then went back to Scotland and have visited a lot of distilleries while working there, and have really fallen in love again with our national drink, he recently told Whiskey Neat. Somehow, he has 2 honorary doctorates. A graduate of the Royal Scottish Academy of Music and Drama, Sam's subsequent acting career has earned him 2 honorary doctorates degree. Last summer, the University of Stirling recognized his outstanding contribution to acting and charitable endeavors, while the University of Glasgow highlighted the continuous contributions to multiple charitable causes. In his University of Stirling graduation speech, Sam accepted the honor with his usual mix of humor and humility. Finally, he created a fitness-based charity. Outlander star Sam Heughan launched his My Peak Challenge program in 2015 as a call to action. The goal was to challenge his fans to challenge themselves while they raise funds for charity. 7 years later, Heughan's philanthropic effort has turned into a global movement, but there are still people who'd like to bring the whole thing down. Recently, someone hacked the My Peak Challenge Instagram account, and Heughan had a few choice words for the culprit. Heughan's My Peak Challenge, MPC, began with a simple t-shirt. Those who heard his call to live happier and healthier lives while raising money to help others bought the special tee that quickly became synonymous with unity and camaraderie. From there, the program grew very quickly. By 2016, a global community had formed via paid membership for the MPC 60-day training and nutrition program, and members of the MPC community became known as Peakers. Unfortunately, that's all the time we got for today. Comment down below which of the facts surprised you the most, and until next time, cheers, mate.